Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's FOMO Hard with FomoNation Sports, and it is Wednesday, and I haven't really looked at my fantasy league because I've been doing a lot of other things, crypto related. So I wanted to take a look at this tonight with y'all. Put the video up as soon as I'm done, and take away from it what you will. So currently, I'm 2-4. I'm running third in the division, tied basically for second. Fortunately, the division leader, JP, who is on our weekly stream on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, is when we're going to run it. It'll be a live Zoom-in call, so if you want to join, ask any questions, participate, whatever, just come talk football, talk sports. It's open for everybody. The Zoom link will be in the description as we get closer to the weekend, so be looking for that. Me and Ender actually had a chance to talk, and we're making some kind of structure for Saturday. So be looking for some changes. While they may be subtle, others may be very noticeable. So currently, JP is part of that as well. He is a manager at the moment. Ender is the GM, but obviously I'm the owner. And then, if you guys participate, man, we're looking for some kind of reward system in the future. So we got a couple ideas. Now's the time to get in. Like and subscribe to the video right now. Check out the description below for the Telegram. That's it. So I'm 2-4. Didn't expect to be this bad this year. Had a really good draft, but losing AB, having to trade Bell just to make up for a receiver. I got Beckham. He hasn't been working out too well. Gordon came back, but he's not been anything great. So I probably would have won. I don't even want to look at last week, but I did not start Diggs because my wife pulled me out of the house, and yeah, blame it on the wife. So this week, we're going to try and do this without going to the waivers. I see a lot of green. I see a lot of good matchups. So let's just work off that. So the first thing I want to do, let me zoom in here so you guys can see better. Let me check out yeah, now you guys can read it. And so can I. All right, so what I like to do is move everybody out and put as many people on the bench as possible. I don't know. I usually do that on Tuesday, but I didn't do it this week. I'm not going to for everybody since it doesn't really make sense right now. He's going to go on the bench. I don't know what to do with McCoy. That's looking like a really bad trade, Kelsey for McCoy. But at the time, I really needed a running back, and I thought there might be some sparks there between him and Andy Reid. So I kind of feel fortunate that Beckham is out, so I don't have to make a decision about starting him this week. Pretty sure I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs after last week, but let's go ahead and submit that and then go over the lineup. So what I'm trying to do here is teach you guys basically, and give you like my mindset. Not so much teach, but just inform, maybe in some cases teaching. Well, yeah, I am trying to teach because I do understand the game pretty good. I used to sit down like Tuesday morning and I missed the waiver. I didn't plan on picking nobody up, so I'm all right with that. But because of the crypto thing, I'm kind of busy like looking at two different topics, and sports sometimes on Tuesday gets buried because I got something else going on. So now that I'm 2-4, I really need to start paying attention. So let's look at Saquon and see what's going on with him. Is there any chance he's coming back? It says he was a full participant in Wednesday's practice. So that offers a strong sign that he'll be ready to go for Sunday. So it looks like he will play. I'm going to need him even though it's a bad matchup. They've given up the 7th fewest fantasy points, and he's coming back. He hasn't been out that long, so I don't know that's going to affect him. I usually won't start a running back when he's coming back from injury, but it wasn't that long of an injury. He wasn't out. I don't think the injury was that bad. It just sounded like, when you sprain your ankle or something like that. So if they're bringing him back, he's good. Ingram was a full participant in Wednesday's practice as well. That's awesome because I really need him to come back. Jimmy Graham, while he's got a good matchup, he's got a good matchup too. So we're going to assume that he's going to start for now. I could just leave Graham in there, but he's got a good matchup, but I got to go with Ingram. There's no way I got to start my superstars. So plus, especially since it looks like he's got a good matchup, at least on paper. Goff has a good matchup here. I was going to start him anyway. I don't even have to look. There's no injury designation. There's nothing. So I'm going to go with him. Against Atlanta, I think St. Louis is going to be really, really juiced up with the signing of what's his name from Jacksonville? Ramsey. Sorry about that. Ramsey came over today. That's a big move. That really helps their defense out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But I'm really liking that trade. I'm really liking St. Louis. You know, the offense has got to get going, though. Like, they have to fix whatever's wrong with the offense. Even though they score points, it just seems like, you know, I don't know, the defense did let Tampa put up 55, so that's not helping either. So we'll see if Ramsey can make that big of an impact. So I do have a wide receiver open and a flex at this point. Everybody else, I guess I'm going to have to start Lindsey. Well, I don't have to, but I probably will, and I really think I need to start Saquon since he was my number one pick. So let's assume he is going to be back. I'm going to go ahead and put him in as a running back because, I mean, Lindsey seems like he's got a better matchup than Melvin. I don't want to take Lindsey out, so I'm probably going to flex Lindsey. So I'm going to go ahead and put Barkley in. We'll go ahead and use Lindsey as the flex for now anyway, because I really don't have any other options, better options. And Diggs looked really good last week. I don't want to have to go to the waiver this week. Against Detroit, at Detroit, it's indoors. It should be pretty fast. It'll be a fast track. Although they are running the ball a lot. I liked what I saw to Diggs. Maybe they're going to work him in a little bit better. I think when he complained, it might have been a short week. They didn't have time, and so maybe they went back to the drawing board and said, look, we're going to work you in. Honestly, the reason I didn't start him was because I wanted to wait until he had a big week, and boy, did he have a big week last week. I wanted to start him late. The reason he wasn't already in there was because I had McCoy going, and like I said, I got sidetracked. It happens. That's life. So now we're going to go ahead and start Diggs this week. I really don't have any better options at this point. Definitely going to drop Jameis. He kind of sucks. He just straight sucks. At least he sucked last week really bad. I got Gould for San Francisco. I think that's a good kicker to have. I'm just going to keep on riding him. As far as defense goes, Jesus, this was just atrocious, whatever the hell that was. I mean, they scored a few points, but I can't believe they lost to Pittsburgh like that. Now, I could start Minnesota. I have two pretty good defenses right now sitting here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use the Chargers. For now, let's see what the notation is. Bear come out of a bye week. Oh, yeah, they're back. Yeah, so they've been fresh. They're rested. I'm going to go ahead and go with them against New Orleans. I don't know. Maybe they'll catch a couple interceptions or something. Maybe they'll get a pick six. I don't know. I just like Chicago's defense. When I don't start them, I get screwed. I don't know, Minnesota at Detroit. I mean, that might not be a bad matchup, to be honest, even though it's in Detroit. If Stafford gets on, he gets on, and he roasts you, and it's a high-scoring game. But Minnesota's D's been pretty good. New Orleans is pretty good offense as well. So it's really like, Chicago's at home. New Orleans is a dome team. Maybe the elements, I think it's going to be cold up there this week. I hope it is. I'm just making that up. I really don't know. We're going to go ahead and start Chicago for now. So right now, this is the lineup. This is what our lineup's looking like. Let's go ahead and submit this. Now, I never did go on the waiver wire. Let's take a look at what's going on. All available players. Let's go to receivers and running backs off rip. That's really what I want to look at first. So is there anybody on here that really could help me out down the stretch? Brown isn't participating. What's wrong with him? He's not owned by very many. 85. He had a big game against Miami. I'm just looking for players that maybe I can bring in because I do have spots available right now. I can drop a couple people. Mohamed Sanu. Thing is, Matty Ice has been terrible. Carlos Hyde, man. He got 20. He's been gradually going up. I wanted to have Hyde because I thought maybe he would be a good addition because in case I get in trouble and I need a running back, he might not be a bad player to pick up. I'm going to keep this open right now because I may go ahead and pick him up because I pick him up and then I drop him. What's going on with Ross? 6 to 8 week recovery. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I like Shepard, but he had the concussion, so he was a limited participant. He might come back. I still like DeMarcus Robinson, but I had to drop him. Let's see, Terrell Williams. Sat out week 5 due to an undisclosed foot injury. He didn't make an appearance practice Wednesday. He revealed the reason for Williams' continued absence. So is he coming back? Alright, it doesn't sound like it. Not right now. Whatever situs he had. Let's see. He's had a couple big weeks, but I think Jeffries was gone. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. It might. Start, didn't register. Yeah, alright, so he's iffy. Royce Freeman. They're saying they're using him more as a passing back. So, you know, I really like Day. I always like Day. But he just never lives up to what I think. 3 of 8 targets. Like, he dropped 5 passes now. Jesus Christ. He sucks. He still got, he got 8 points. 15, 14. About 10 is his floor. If I really needed a receiver, he would be a viable option. Even Marvin Jones, man. Like, sometimes this dude scores. He like there. But then, you know, I was playing Philly soft defense. Let's see. They're playing Minnesota. That's definitely not a soft defense. I don't know. It could end up a shootout, though. But Minnesota's D has been pretty good, even though they do give up some points. But most weeks they look pretty damn good. Let's just look at running backs right now, then. Let's look at quarterbacks real quick, in case I need somebody. Man, Cousins. It's bad when Cousins is looking good. Thing is, they got that ground game. If Cook goes down or something, it's going to be a problem. It's definitely going to be a problem for them. I think I'm going to go with just running backs. Let's see what's going on at running backs. I do like the Carlos Hyde play because they're utilizing him more and more. I think he's their number 1 back right now. So, you know, I'm going to go and pick him back up because I dropped him because I needed room, and he's still there. So, Chargers defense looked atrocious against Pittsburgh that had a rookie quarterback that was a receiver starting. That's the way I understood it anyway, was the article I read. So, we're going to go ahead and get rid of them. I don't plan on using them ever in the future. I have Minnesota and Chicago. I don't need 3 defenses. I'd rather have Carlos Hyde, a backup running back. He may come in handy this week, you know. You never know. He's playing Indy. They're a pretty good defense. I don't want to have to start him this week, but he is an option. So Gordon and Barkley, assuming Barkley's coming back. He's coming back against the Cardinals. They've been pretty decent on defense, apparently, as far as fantasy goes. I'm not going to put too much stock in that. He's a superstar, so I got to ride my superstar. My number 1 pick, man. And for all intents and purposes, Gordon would be my number 2 because I gave up Bell so I could get Beckham and Gordon to utilize. Kupp's going to start. He's got a sweet. They both have a sweet matchup. I'm feeling good about this week. This is the lineup that I'm planning on running with the rest of the season anyway. Like, this is what I've been building to. I made all them trades so I'd have Goff as my starting QB. Gordon and Barkley are going to be my 2 backs. Kupp would definitely be my number 1 receiver. As far as a second receiver goes, I never really nailed anybody down. I mean, I've been holding on to Diggs. So at this point, Beckham. So it should be Beckham and Kupp. Diggs is going to be able to be flexed like this week. I'm going to have to use him. Ingram as my tight end. Let's see when he goes on break. They have a break in week 11. So I have Jimmy Graham on the sideline for that. Hopefully I don't have to use Graham too much because he didn't really... Well, it really wouldn't have mattered. Lindsey right now is running as my flex. I'm mainly doing it because he's running against Kansas City, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity. It might be some fat opportunities. The problem is if Kansas City gets up early, they're going to start throwing. That's always the problem when you're playing Kansas City. So I don't know if the Denver defense can, slow Kansas City down. Denver typically has a good defensive squad, so any given Sunday, Denver could win the game. As unlikely I think that is, Denver could win. So if worse comes to worse and I see something I don't like in this matchup, I could always go to Hyde or McCoy. I haven't totally given up on McCoy yet, but against Denver, I'm not running him. I think Phillip Lindsay against Kansas City is the better option. Defense, I have the Bears, and somehow I got the Vikings. I'm not letting go of the Vikings, and I got Robbie Gould as my kicker. Honestly, I know it says 2-4 in the record right here, but my season literally is just now starting. So if this lineup goes and it stays healthy, watch out, boys. Coming for you, JP. And Matt, you should join the stream. Matty Ice. Going 0-4 sucks.